Hi, this is Jim McGrath from 7 Points Consulting, and I'm going to run you through a quick tutorial to show you how to change record ownership across a couple of different records in Salesforce.com. At the end of the tutorial, you'll know how to perform a mass change of ownership on leads, accounts and contacts, opportunities, and cases. So when might you want to do this? There's a number of different business scenarios where a mass change in ownership would come into play. So the first one would be as an administrator. I need to reassign record ownership when an employee leaves the company. So somebody has left, and as the administrator, I need to make sure that these records are going to be owned by somebody else who's going to follow them through or keep them updated. A second scenario would be as an inside sales user. I need to grab leads from a queue and assign them to myself. So leads are coming in through multiple sources, they're ending up in a queue, and part of our business process would be to pull those into ownership by a single person so that that person is responsible for working those leads. A third scenario would be as a sales manager, I need to reassign accounts, contacts, and opportunities when territories change. So territory realignment is a fairly typical business process in most companies, and I'm going to show you how you would reassign those accounts, contacts, and opportunities so that ownership is reassigned. And then finally, as a support manager, I want to reallocate cases to even up workloads across my teams. So I'll be keeping an eye on the queues as a support manager, and occasionally I may want to reassign cases to make sure that I'm not overloading one team. Okay, the first change of ownership I'm going to show you is how to do a mass change on leads. So just click on your Leads tab. That'll take you to the Leads homepage here. And then select a list view that's appropriate. In this case, I'm going to pick the All Leads view. I want to see all of the leads that are currently in the system. And I have 3 test leads that I had created for this demonstration, and they're all currently owned by the lead queue. So if you look over here, you can see that these 3 are sitting in a lead queue, and I want to reassign those. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select all of the records by clicking on this button up here. And it's a simple matter of just clicking on the Change Owner button. Now, if you don't see the Change Owner button on your list view screen, that means that your profile is not allowing you that permission. So you're going to need to talk to your system administrator and ask them to give you the Transfer Leads permission, which will then give you the ability to do this. So just click on the button, and you can then choose the user that you want to assign these leads to. I'm going to pick one of our test user accounts. You also have the option of sending an email notification to the user, but I'm not going to do that for the demonstration, and I'm going to click on Save. And now you can see over here in the owner column that the test sales account user now has ownership of these 3 leads. So that's it. Leads are really straightforward to transfer using the list view and the Change Owner button. Okay, the next scenario I want to show you is transferring accounts. And by transferring accounts, we're also going to transfer contacts and opportunities. So to do that, we just click on the Account tab, and then down here in the Tools section, you're going to see this Transfer Account tool. So just click on that link, and that's going to take us to this Transfer Account screen. And I want to transfer a couple of test accounts that I set up just for this demonstration. And those accounts are currently owned by the test support user. And I want to transfer those accounts to the test sales user. And when I do this transfer, as noted up here in the tool section, any of the notes on the account are going to be transferred. Any contacts that belong to the existing owner are going to be transferred to the new owner. All opportunities that currently belong to the existing owner are going to be transferred to the new owner. All open activities are also going to be transferred to the new owner. And you also have the option of clicking and transferring any open opportunities that are not owned by the existing account owner. So let's say this account has opportunities owned by the account owner and some other opportunities may be owned by a different sales team. You could click this button and transfer all opportunities to the new owner, but in this example I'm not going to. You could also close or transfer any closed opportunities, and you can also transfer open cases that are currently being owned by, in this case it would be test support user, and transfer any closed cases as well. You also have the ability to set a criteria using any of the fields on the account record. You can set additional filter criteria. So maybe you wanted to do it by a single state or a zip code, whatever you might be doing in order to segment out the accounts. But in this example, I'm not going to set any criteria because I want all of the accounts currently owned by test support user, and I'm going to transfer all of them to test sales user. So I just click on the Find button, and that's going to bring up the two accounts that I've set up. I'm going to select them both, and I'm going to click on the Transfer button. And now those accounts have been transferred. You'll get a little indicator here that the number of accounts that you selected have been transferred. You do have a limit in this tool. You can transfer up to 250 records at a time. So if you have more than 250 records to transfer, you can do them in batches by selecting the criteria, or you could use the data loader tool. But for this example, we've got our two accounts transferred. So now if I go back to my Accounts tab and I look at this test account, it's now owned by the test sales user. And if I go down and I look at the contacts that were on this account, those also now are owned by the test sales user. So the transfer of the account moved the contacts and the associated opportunities to this single user. That's it. Okay, the next scenario I want to show you is how to transfer opportunity records to a new user. So I'm on the Opportunities tab. I just clicked on that and got to this tab, and you'll notice that we don't have any tools for doing a transfer of ownership on opportunities. So native Salesforce does not provide that tool, and fortunately there's a great tool that's available on the App Exchange called Mass Update and Mass Edit from a list view. This is freely available from Salesforce Labs. Your Salesforce.com administrator can install it. And I'll put a link to it in the show notes so that you can easily find it. But in this example, I'm going to show you how to transfer opportunity ownership using the Mass Edit, Mass Update tool. So I've gone to the Opportunity tab, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the All Opportunities list view. And that's going to bring up my list view. I just have these two test opportunities in the system. And right now, these are currently owned by the test sales user. So let's say I wanted to transfer both of these to the test support user account that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and select them. And I'm going to click on this Mass Update button, which is going to bring me into the Mass Update tool. And it's going to ask me to confirm that I want to update these two records. I do. So I'm going to click on Next. And now it says, well, what field do you want to update? Well, I want to update the ownership field. So I'm going to find my ownership field down here. And this is the ownership field. It's the owner ID. Now, whenever you see the two letters ID in Salesforce, that's looking for the record ID of the owner. So to find the record ID of the owner, I really can't type in the name. I can't put in test support user here. That's not what it's looking for. It's looking for the ID. So in order to find the ID of the test support user, I'm going to do a search. I'm going to show you how I got this screen. I'm going to say test sup in my search, and it's going to find just this record here. It's going to find this person called test support user, and I'm going to click on that link. Now, up in your URL in your browser, you're going to see this question mark, and then a U equal. Everything after the equal sign and all the way up to the first ampersand. That is the record ID for this user. So I'm going to do a Control C, which is going to copy that value. And I'm going to go back to my update page, and I'm going to do a Control V, and I'm going to paste that value. So that is the owner ID. That is the ID of the user, test support user, that I'm going to use to change ownership on this record. Okay? So I'm going to click on Next. It's going to say, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Update. And it will confirm that my two records have been updated. And now, back on our All Opportunities view, you can see that the ownership value has been changed to the test support user. Okay? So if you want to change just an opportunity owner, more than a few, you can use the Mass Edit Mass Update tool to accomplish that. Okay, the last mass transfer of ownership that I want to show you is how to transfer more than one case to a new owner. And it's very straightforward. Go to your Cases tab and click on Cases. Select a list view that will contain the cases that you want to transfer ownership on. In this case, I'm going to grab the All Cases view. I'm going to click Go. And I have two cases that are sitting in this admin queue, and I want to transfer them to my test support user. So to do that, I just come over here and check on the All button to select all records, and I just click on Change Owner. I click on that. It's going to ask me who I want to change ownership to. I'm going to type in test, and I grab my test support user and click on Save. And that's it. The two cases have been transferred now to the test support user, and that's it. It's very straightforward. And again, on this list view, if you do not have the Change Owner button, that means your profile is not permitting you to do a mass change of ownership. And if you believe you need it, talk to your system admin and ask them to give you that permission, and you'll be able to use the Change Owner button on your list view. So just to recap what we covered in the course, we talked about how to transfer ownership on leads, accounts and contacts, opportunities, and cases. This is Jim McGrath with 7 Points Consulting saying thank you, and please visit our website at www.7pointsconsulting.com.